Interest rates are low and rental properties are selling quickly. Should you get a mortgage or should you use cash when you're buying a rental property? I've got some factors you're going to want to consider coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. I love rentals. I love rentals, and all across YouTube there are all sorts of channels and videos promoting and sharing the benefits of investing in rental properties. I do love it. I don't personally think you should put all of your eggs in that one basket, and I also do think it's a job, right? You've got to, there's my 4 laws of rental real estate, but it can be a phenomenal investment when it makes sense and if it makes sense for you. Now, I'm dealing with a couple clients just yesterday, and they had the exact same question. And so I thought I'd just pose it here on the YouTube channel and share with you my thoughts and what I relayed to them. So let me say, one was yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, one was early this morning. So within a 24-hour period, got the exact same issue. Let me tell you what the question is. Each of these clients, each of these friends of mine have their well-established financial lives, net worths in the $4 to $5 million range, and they each have cash or investments that they could use to buy a rental property, and they both have identified rental properties that they'd like to purchase, and they both fit within the portfolio that they're looking at and the different factors that are qualifications to be good rental properties for them. And they both asked, should we use cash or should we get a mortgage to buy the property? Okay, now with interest rates being as low as they are, it's tempting just to ignore everything else and say, yeah, you got to use a mortgage. I mean, why wouldn't you use a mortgage when you can get a 15-year loan at 2.5%? Certainly the rental property will likely appreciate more than that. Gosh, with the Fed printing so much money, the likelihood of inflation is there, and with all of the money printing, it's helping those that own assets. It's not helping those at the bottom, so we're going to have a greater divide. People will need to rent more. So yes, it absolutely makes sense. You should do this. But I actually think there's 2 questions that you have to ask yourself, and depending on how you answer these, it's going to influence, well, should you pay cash or should you get a mortgage? And so, as always, everyone's circumstances, especially yours, it's unique. You have a unique financial situation, custom fit just for you. So work with your certified financial planner to see how you answer these 2 questions and therefore what the wise decision will be for your specific situation. So here's the first question. The cash that you would have to be able to buy the property outright, do you have that cash in an investment vehicle that's working for you hard enough to outperform the interest cost of a mortgage by at least double, okay, at least double, and can you afford the monthly obligation of the mortgage if you don't have a tenant in the property, okay? If you answer yes to that, yeah, I actually do have the money tied up somewhere, maybe not tied up, but it's allocated in a spot that should give me a reasonable 6% rate of return, if not even more. And yeah, if I don't have a tenant in there, now I've got this mortgage, and yeah, I could pay it monthly without, really burdening myself financially, then I'd get the mortgage. I'd get the mortgage. Second question. If the answer is no to that first one, well, is the cash then just sitting in cash, really not working hard for you? And could you deploy that cash to buy the rental outright and still leave yourself with enough cash left over afterwards for a good safety net? If that answer is yes, then I would pay it. Then I'd buy the property out of cash. You see you see the 2 differences between those questions? The first one is, if you got a loan, are you truly using leverage? Meaning the loan would allow you to keep your cash working harder for you somewhere else. And because loans add risk, well, if you don't have the place rented, and if for a short period of time you don't have the income coming in, you could manage the cash flow. Okay, the risk is manageable, I'll get the loan. Or second, and this was the situation with the individual I was working with yesterday, he likes to have about 1.5 million sitting in cash, but it's not earning him anything. And we've looked at his entire financial situation. It's like, I don't think you need that much sitting in cash. So use 400,000 of that to buy the property. Okay, don't get a mortgage, because getting a mortgage, you'd be paying 2.5% while you got cash sitting there earning point nothing. I think he's in a high interest money market, it's earning 0.5%. Okay, if he uses that cash to avoid the mortgage, that's going to have that cash earning 2.5% for him, because it's going to avoid the mortgage fee, the interest rate. Okay, but he still's going to have 1.5 million left over. That's plenty of cushion. Sure, go ahead. I mean, if he were to get a mortgage, he's not going to have that money redeployed somewhere else. It's just not his comfort level. He's wanted to have the 1 to 1.5 million sitting in cash. That's been a goal of his. So those are the two questions. Those are the two questions in today's interest rate environment that I would have you ask yourself to help determine, all right, should you go the mortgage route or should you go the cash route? All right. And as always, you're going to want to work with your certified financial planner and see which of these options makes the most sense. Ask yourself those questions in the context of how all 6 areas of your financial life fit together. And that'll help lead you to whether you can responsibly take on a little bit of debt, a little bit of leverage to buy the property, or if you should use your cash and invest the property there. That's going to give you the better return. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP, you can always contact a member of my team. You can find us online, wisemonieshow.com or korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K, or just send us an email, info@korhorn.com. I love real estate, rental real estate. Right now, it's hard to find deals, but it's the best yield out there. It's got inflation protection. It takes risk, right? It wasn't that long ago. It was just the last recession where we saw no one wanted real estate and there was a real estate bubble. I mean, a bubble that burst. We could see that happening again. So it's not without risk, but gosh, could make a lot of sense if the situation aligns. Lots of other factors to consider if you're owning rental real estate, lots of tax decisions, several other decisions, but hopefully this video helps you determine whether you should use a mortgage at today's low rates or use cash. All right, there you are. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.